Happy morning, dear students. I welcoming you all to this online learning. Previous week we started Unit 4, Applications of Biotechnology, in which we have completed up to stem cell therapy. And we have started molecular diagnostics, in which we have completed ELISA test. Today we will start with the PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. The polymerase chain reaction is an in vitro amplification technique used for synthesizing multiple identical copies of DNA. This technique was first developed by Kary Mullis. PCR includes three important steps: denaturation, renaturation, this is also called as primer annealing, and synthesis, or also called as a primer extension. The double-stranded DNA is denatured to separate into two individual strands by high temperature. This is called denaturation. Each strand is allowed to hybridize with a primer, that is called as primer annealing. The primer template is used to synthesize DNA by using TAQ DNA polymerase. What is meant by TAQ? That means it is a bacterium called Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus DNA polymerase is an enzyme which helps to synthesize a more number of DNA. During denaturation, the reaction mixture is heated at 95 degrees centigrade for a short time to denature the target DNA into single strand that will act as a template for DNA synthesis. Annealing is done by rapid cooling of the mixture, allowing the primer to bind to the sequence on each of the two strands of the target DNA. During primer extension or synthesis, the temperature of the mixture is increased to 75 degrees centigrade for a sufficient period of time to allow this TAQ DNA polymerase enzyme to extend each primer by copying the single strand template. These steps are repeated again and again to generate multiple copies of desired DNA. This process is also called as DNA amplification. The PCR technique can also be used for amplification of RNA, which is referred to as reverse transcription PCR, RT-PCR. In this process, the RNA molecules mRNA must be converted to complementary DNA by the enzyme reverse transcriptase. The complementary DNA then serve as a template for PCR. Next is PCR in clinical diagnosis. The diagnosis of inherited disorders, that is the genetic diseases, viral diseases, bacterial diseases, can be diagnosed with help of this PCR. The diagnosis and treatment of particular disease often requires identifying a particular pathogen. Traditional methods of identification involve culturing these organisms from clinical specimen and performing metabolic and other tests to identify them. The concept behind PCR-based diagnosis of infection disease is very simple. DNA has unique sequence that can be detected by PCR, often used by the clinical specimens such as blood, stool, etc. PCR is also employed in the prenatal diagnosis of inherited disease by using chorionic villus samples or cells from amniocentesis. Diseases like sickle cell anemia, beta thalassemia, and phenylketonuria. These are some of the hereditary diseases that can be detected with help of PCR. And this PCR is an valuable tool for diagnosing and monitoring retroviral infections, for example, tuberculosis by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Several virally induced cancers like cervical cancer caused by papilloma virus can be detected by PCR. Sex of human beings and livestock, embryo fertilized in vitro, can be determined by PCR by using the primers. PCR technique is also used to detect sex-linked disorders in fertilized embryos. So what are the applications of PCR? The difference in the genomes of two identical organisms can be studied by PCR. PCR is very important in the study of evolution, more specifically phylogenetics. as a technique which can amplify even minute quantities of DNA from any source like hair, mummified tissues, bones, or any other fossilized materials. PCR can also be used in the field of forensic medicine. A single nucleotide of DNA from the blood strains, hair, semens of an individual is enough for amplification of this PCR. The amplified DNA is used to develop DNA fingerprint, which is used as an important tool in forensic science. Thus, PCR is very useful for identification of criminals. PCR is also used in amplification of a specific DNA segment to be used in gene therapy. So these applications of PCR is very important. Just 4 points: for evolution, for forensic medicine, to identify the criminals, and also for gene therapy. So you have to write it in points. Right. Next we move on to transgenic animals. What is meant by transgenic animals? In early days, selective breeding methods were carried out to improve the genetic characteristics of livestock and other domestic animals. With the advent of modern technology, it is possible to carry out the manipulations at genetic level to get the desired trait in animals. Transgenesis. It is a process of introduction of extra DNA into the genome of an animal to create and maintain a stable, heritable character. So in order to get our desired quality of an animal, transfer of desired gene is possible with help of this transgenesis. The foreign DNA that is introduced is called as transgene, and the animals that are produced by DNA manipulation are called as transgenic animals. It is also called as genetically engineered or genetically modified organisms. There are various steps involved in the production of these transgenic organisms. They are identification and separation of desired gene, selection of a vector or by direct transmission, combining the desired gene with the vector, and introduction of transferred vector into cells, tissues, embryos, or matured individuals. And finally, demonstration of integration and expression of foreign gene in transgenic animals or tissues. These transgenic animals such as mice, rat, rabbit, pig, cow, goat, sheep, and fish have been produced. Next, we move on to the uses of transgenic animals. Transgenesis is a powerful tool to study the gene expression and developmental process in higher organisms. Transgenesis helps in the improvement of genetic characters in animals. It helps to understand human diseases, which helps in the investigation of new treatments for diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's disease, cystic fibrosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and sickle cell anemia. Transgenic animals are used to produce proteins, which is very important for medical and paramedical applications. Transgenic mice are used for testing the safety of vaccines. So, if a vaccine is introduced, it will be tested first with the animals such as mice. Transgenic animals are used for testing toxicity in animals that carry genes which make them sensitive to toxic substances. Transgenesis is important for improving the quality and quantity of milk, meat, and eggs, and wool production, in addition to testing drug resistance. So, uses of transgenesis is very an important question. Next is biological products and the uses. A biological product is a substance derived from a living organism and is used for the prevention or treatment of a disease. These products includes antitoxins, bacterial and viral vaccines, blood products, and hormone extracts. These products may be produced through biotechnology in a living system, such as microorganism, plant cell, animal cell. Through possible recombinant DNA technology, it is possible to produce these biological products. There are of many types of biological products. They are therapeutic proteins, monoclonal antibodies, and vaccines. Recombinant hormones like insulin, human growth hormone, recombinant vaccines, and recombinant proteins like human alpha-lactalbumin are now available today. And then monoclonal antibodies, which are used to treat cancer, heart disease, and transplant rejection, or produced by this biotechnology. Next, we move on to animal cloning. Animal cloning. What is meant by cloning? Cloning is a process of producing genetically identical individuals of an organism either naturally or artificially. In nature, many organisms produce clones through asexual reproduction. Dolly was the first mammal sheep clone developed by Ian Wilmot and Campbell in the year 1997. Dolly, the transgenic clone, was developed by the nuclear transfer technique and the phenomena of totipotency. Here, what is meant by totipotency? Totipotency refers to the potential of a cell to develop into different cells, tissues, organs, and finally an organism. Toti means total potentiality. So, it's a complete potentiality of an cell to develop into different cells. The mammary gland had a cell, that is the somatic cell from the donor sheep Eve, was isolated and subjected to starvation for 5 days. The other cells could not undergo normal growth cycle, entered a dormant stage and became totipotent. An ovum, that is the egg cell, was taken from another sheep Eve and its nucleus was removed to form an enucleated ovum. The dormant mammary gland cell, that is the udder cell, and the enucleated ovum were fused. The outer membrane of the mammary cell was ruptured, allowing the ovum to envelop the nucleus. The fused cell was implanted into another Eve, which served as a surrogate mother. 5 months later, Dolly was born. Dolly was the first animal to be cloned from the differentiated somatic cell taken from an adult animal without the process of fertilization. So there are so many advantages and disadvantages of cloning. Offers benefits for clinical trials and medical research. It can help in the production of proteins and drugs in the field of medicine. Second one, it helps in the stem cell research. Animal cloning could help to save endangered species. And the process of cloning is very difficult and it is very expensive. It can cause animals to suffer. Reports shows that animal surrogates were manifesting adverse outcomes and cloned animals were affected with the disease and have high mortality rate. It might compromise human health through consumption of cloned animal meat. The cloned animals age faster than the normal animals or less healthy than the parent organisms as discovered in Dolly. Cloning can lead to occurrence of genetic disorders in animals. More than 90% of cloning attempts fail to produce a viable offerings. Here, the first 3 is the advantages and the others are the disadvantages. So, question will be asked like this, write the advantage. If it is asked advantage, you have to write the advantages. If it is asked disadvantages, you have to write only the disadvantages. Next is the ethical issues. Biotechnology has given to the society cheap drugs, better fruits and vegetables, pest-resistant crops, indigenous cure to diseases and lot of controversy. This is mainly because the major part of the modern biotechnology deals with genetic manipulation. People fear that these genetic manipulations may lead to unknown consequences. Although many are concerned about the possible risk of genetic engineering, the risks are in fact slight and the potential benefits are more, that is sustainable. Right? Next is regulation in biotechnology. Regulations apply to the production, sale, and use of biotechnology products and genetically modified organisms. The GMOs are carefully tested and documented before the products are available. The GMO should be labeled and used according to instructions. These regulations are designed to protect the people, living organisms, and the environment. The Biotechnology Regulatory Authority of India is a proposed regulatory body in India for uses of biotechnology products, including the GMO. GMO is nothing but the genetically modified organisms. Genetic engineering Approval Committee, a body under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Changes in India, is responsible for approval of genetically engineered products in India. This GEAC, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, is assisted by the State Biotechnology Coordination Committee and the District Level Committee. There are various committees which supports this GMOs. Recombinant DNA Safety Guidelines of 1990 were released by the Department of Biotechnology, which cover areas of research involving genetically engineered organisms, and these guidelines were further revised in 1994. Industrial licensing under the Industrial Act 1951 is compulsory for bulk drugs produced by the use of recombinant DNA technology. And then there are so many possible threats of genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms, are also called as genetically engineered organisms, were created to play a role in agriculture, forestry, aquaculture, bioremediation, and environmental management in developed and developing countries. The possible risks of these genetically modified organisms are creating new or more vigorous pests and pathogens, worsening the effects of existing pests through hybridization with related transgenic organisms, harming the non-target species such as soil organisms, non-pest insects, birds and other animals. And it also disrupts the biotic communities including the agro ecosystem, gives a lot of loss or changes in species diversity or genetic diversity within the species, and it creating a risk for human health. These are the various risks of genetically modified organisms. There are some biosafety guidelines which was introduced by World Health Organization in the year 1991. The intellectual property rights and protection were implemented by various committees. The IPR, that is, the intellectual property right, is protected by different ways like patents, copyrights, and trademarks. So, what is meant by a patent? Patent na enna? A patent is a government issued document that allows the person for an exclusive right to manufacture, use, or sell an invention for a definite period. That means usually 20 years. Patent பார்த்தா ஒரு 20 years இருக்கும். Okay, that is called as patent. The following criteria must be satisfied for patenting. The invention must be novel and useful, and the product must be inventive and reproducible, and the patent application should provide the full description of invention, and the invention must be patentable. The first living organism that was patented was a genetically engineered species of bacteria, that is Pseudomonas putida, in the year 1980, which was genetically engineered by Anand Mohan Chakravarti. Thomas Alva Edison was the only scientist in the world with more than 1,000 patents to his credit. Next is the copyright. What is meant by copyright? The protection of authorships of published work comes under copywriting of IPR. Copyright protection is given for form of expression of ideas. For example, the authors, editors, publishers, okay, so they have the copyrights. The content of the book cannot be reproduced or reprinted without written permission from the copyright holders. And what is a trademark? Any specific symbol or words to identify a particular product or a process of a company constitutes the trademark. This enables the public to distinguish between the trader's good from similar goods of other traders. So that's all. We finish this lesson. And trademark, copyrights, patents, this will be asked in 2 marks. Okay, and what are the possible risks for GMO? It is also asked in 2 marks. So please go through that. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me. Here, the animal cloning and transgenic animals are very important question for your exam point of view. Thank you.